Welcome to the video. So this is a tutorial on how to make dreads. I make wigs myself in some of my spare time, Jack Sparrow wigs specifically. But yeah, as I said, this is a tutorial on how to make dreads. I'll be using synthetic hair, not real hair. I do like to keep my costs down as real hair is quite expensive. Synthetic hair does look like real hair. You can get some sprays. It does have a shine on it, but you can get some sprays just to dull it down a little bit. And once you've actually sealed the dreads, they move and flow like real hair. So, and it's cheaper. As you can see, this is one of the wigs that I'm currently working on. It is missing the main base wig. Haven't done that yet. I've just finished the dreads, and then I'll get round to stitching them into the actual base wig. But this just gives you an idea of what you can do. Got all the side dreads, the back dreads, the top dreads that go into the back braid. Now, it is time consuming. It does take some time to do these dreads. I can probably make around 7 an hour, something like that. But as I said, this is a tutorial on how to make the dreads. I'll show you how to do that. I've got my own technique. There may be others out there that use this, but when I first started, I did originally start out using someone else's technique, and I will show you that as well. But the dreads didn't quite have the texture and the feel and the look that the dreads do in the original screen used Jack Sparrow wig. So I came up with another way of doing it. I don't know if others use it, but as I said, I'll show you how to do it, and you can get making your own Jack Sparrow wigs. Okay, so this is how we make the dreads. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the technique that I use now, which is something that it just came into my head one day. I started doing it, and it's come out absolutely perfect for me. It has the texture that I need for the wigs that I make. I will get into showing you the original technique that I used to use, which I did copy from someone else. I have moved away from that because it just doesn't give you the texture. It also doesn't bulk out the dread enough properly, and it just looks horrible. So you want a base. You need a piece of cord. You need to attach it. You need an anchor point for it basically, and you need to create a loop. So with your loop, you're going to take the length of hair that you've got. I use straight kanekalon, and you want to hook it through the thread or the cord or whatever you're using as an anchor point, and make sure it doesn't move. You don't want any movement. You want it to be nice and sturdy, and if it moves, then you're just going to take forever doing your dreads. So as I said, this is the technique I use. Once you've got your anchor point and your hair wrapped through, you want to take a crochet needle. Sorry, I use a 1mm. Don't know if you can see that, but it does have the size stamped on there. I use a 1mm. I do have other size needles, but I just don't use them. It just doesn't seem to work properly for me. Now these are needles, so you do need to be careful with them. They do have a hook on them. As you're crocheting with the needle down, it can snag your skin, so you can cut yourself. You can actually stab yourself. At the speed you're crocheting, you can stab yourself as well. I've stabbed myself multiple times and drawn blood, so just be careful with using these. Right, so let's get to it. So once you've got your hair in place, don't forget, good anchor point. You don't want it moving. Take the crochet needle, sorry. Turn it downwards, and you want to start from the side and just pull the hair up like this. Now, the amount of hair that you're pulling up determines how thick your dread is going to be. So what you can do is I go from the side, but sometimes I take from the middle as well, just to fatten the dread out. So if you want to fatten the dread out a bit, you want to pull through the middle there as well. And what it's doing is it's pulling the hair up from the bottom. It's pulling it up and out through the top. So as you can probably guess, doing this will shorten the length of your dread. So you need to. It's going to take some practice, but you will get it. It is easy, but at the same time, it's time consuming, and you just got to learn the technique basically. So once that's all up through, you want to grab that bulk of hair that you've just pulled out, flatten it out, and then wrap that around the straight hair that's there, like that. As you can see, it's got this wrapped around twisted look to it. To seal it in, take the crochet needle And this time I have the crochet needle pointing towards me, and you just push it through and pull it out the other end. So just keep going back and forth, back and forth. My technique is I don't just push the needle back and forth, I actually move my hand left and right as well. So at the same time, doing it like this. You want to move all over the hair, come out, start again at the top, turn it a little bit, go round, and just keep doing that back and forth. You will get ends hanging out, you can just tuck those in, grab it with the hook, pull it through. So as you're going through, it's just grabbing the hair and it's just putting it through like that. That's all it's doing. So you will get some scraggly ends like this. You can flatten them down, tuck them in like that. Or when you come back to the, or when you get to the end of the process, you actually have to seal the dreads using boiling water, and that will flatten the hair. Or you can just cut it off if you want to. It's just excess hair, but I find it best to actually lock it in because it just makes it a lot sturdier, stops it from unraveling. Now these aren't going to unravel anyway. I mean, these are so tight they're not going to go anywhere. But that's how I do mine. So once you've done that, you then move down a notch to the bottom of where you've been, pull that up and through, and again wrap that round, and then crochet that in again. Now, as I said, the thickness is determined by how much hair you are pulling through, and the length is determined by how much hair you're pulling through. So the more hair you pull through to wrap round, the thicker it's going to get and the shorter your dread's going to be. So this is actually the technique that I use. This isn't one that I've picked up from someone. There may be people out there that do it, but it's not something that I've gone in to find out and then copied. This is something that I was working on because I make dreads, I make Jack Sparrow wigs, and I just wanted them to be that little bit more accurate. And it just came to me. So others may use the technique, but I will show you the other technique as well when I get around to it. But that's the dread. So you just continue that through, keep going all the way down to the bottom, and you'll have a complete dread. So that will probably end up being about 14 inches long, 15 inches long, which will do you absolutely fine for a Jack Sparrow wig. And as I say, once you've done that, once it's finished off, you just need to pour some boiling water over them, or put them in a sink or a basin with some boiling water, but again, be careful with that. And that will just seal the dreads. It will shrink them down a little bit, but it also loosen them up as well, so they'll stay as woven, but it will soften them up, so they'll flow around like natural hair. So that's that. That is how you do those. I'll show you the technique that I used to use. So let's just wrap one of those through there. So this is the technique I used to use, which I quickly learned just doesn't work. So you grab the crochet needle, again, same process, start from the beginning. Instead of pulling the hair from the side and wrapping it around, all I was doing was just pulling the hair through like this. And as you can see, nothing's happening. Nothing visible is happening here, but it is still pulling the hair up and through. However, it's taking four or five times the amount of effort and time. And it's time you haven't got. See, as you can see, it's doing that. It's pulling the hair up, but it's just not doing anything. So if you kept going, eventually you do start grabbing that and pulling it through. But because you're not pulling the hair through and wrapping it around, you're getting no bulk to the dread. So once you finish doing this, you're just left with it's just a mess, really, and it ends up being a lot thinner. Once that's done, it would just be the thickness of the amount of hair that you've got there. Whereas that one, with that technique, it's a lot thicker. Well, thank you for watching the video. I hope it's been educational. Hopefully you can go away now and start making your own dreads for your own wigs. I would like to make some more videos, some more tutorial videos. If you'd like to see some more, then drop us a subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you again. Cheers.